My name is Brittany and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, it is never too late to do so. Also, if you would like to be in the know of every time I upload a new YouTube video, just go ahead and click that notification bell. So today I'll be doing the What I Love About Being a Teacher tag. This tag was actually created by the Chronicles of Teacher Tay. However, I first saw this tag on Shakira's channel. Her channel name is Saved by the Bell. She's super sweet, so I will link both of their channels down below in the description box. The tag basically covers 4 questions that tell you all why I absolutely love being an educator. Those questions are 5 things I love about being an educator, 1 thing I would say to a new teacher, 1 thing I would say to a teacher feeling burnt out, and 3 things I wish I knew before I started. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. The first thing I love about being an educator is the fact that I'm able to impact my students' lives in a positive way. Some of my students don't really have positive role models, so the fact that I'm able to be a positive role model in their lives just really makes me happy. And then I even catch my students implementing some of the morals that I've been teaching them, and so that really shows me that I'm doing something right. There's this post that says, not all superheroes wear capes, and I definitely feel that way when it comes to teachers and nurses. The second thing I love about being a teacher is that education is constantly changing. And I know that may sound weird, but let me explain it to you all. For me personally, I cannot be in a career that's boring. And so I definitely don't get that when I'm teaching. Because like I said, education is constantly changing. Every day is different. When you go to professional development, you're constantly learning about new programs, new teaching strategies, right? And so there's never a dull moment. Yes, it can be overwhelming, but I'd rather be overwhelmed than be bored. I know that may sound weird, but that's just me. The third thing I love about being an educator is that rewarding feeling when your students finally get a concept or understand the material that you've been teaching. Because as a teacher, I know that I teach my behind off. I teach to the best of my ability. I do my best, and my students do their best too, to listen, to understand the material. And when both our hard work comes together and they actually get it, that's an amazing feeling. And I actually talk about that in my previous YouTube video, so I'm going to go ahead and link that above, and I will link it down in the description box for you all. The fourth thing I love about being a teacher is the laughs that my students give me all the time. I teach 1st grade, and I just feel like little kids in general are just so funny because they're very serious and they're very straightforward. They speak their mind, and they don't even have a filter. They have absolutely no filter, and then they don't mean anything by it. They're just speaking their mind. I mean, some of my students be telling all their family business, and I have to pull them to the side, and explain to them, we don't talk about those things, we keep those things to ourselves. But they truly don't understand because they're just telling you the truth. They just want to tell you what happened. And like I said, once we have that talk, everything's good. But I do go home and think about the day, and those moments do pop up in my head, and I do chuckle a bit. So yes, I just love the laughs that my kids give me on a daily basis. The 5th thing that I love about being an educator is the education community. So this is my 1st year being a teacher, and I was just amazed about the amount of support there is, like on Instagram and Facebook. If you're a 1st year teacher or about to become a 1st year teacher, I strongly encourage you to become a part of the education community out there, okay? Because I know back in the day, they didn't really have access to all these resources, right? Because there wasn't any Instagram, there wasn't any Facebook, there wasn't any YouTube. But now it's just amazing. It's amazing. There's so much support out there and so many resources. Like when all this COVID-19 stuff happened, I legit went on Instagram and found some resources for my kids like that. So I absolutely love the education community. One thing I would say to a new teacher is it's okay to make mistakes. No one is perfect. And let me just tell you, do not be afraid to ask questions, because that's me, y'all. Well, used to be me. I was afraid to ask questions. And when I did ask questions, I would ask questions like this. Hey, I know this may be a dumb question, but that's how I would start off my questions, y'all. No question is a dumb question. I think the reason why I started off my questions like that is because I was very insecure. Apparently, I thought I should have known everything, and that's not the case at all. I don't know everything. You don't know everything. It's okay. People make mistakes. So, yeah, you're human. You will make mistakes, and it's okay to ask questions. I guess that was more than one thing, but y'all got the gist of it. One thing I would say to a teacher that is feeling burnt out is, sis or bro, you need to take a step back, right? You need to evaluate why you're feeling burnt out, and you need to find an outlet that relaxes you, that just relieves your stress. Because like I said in my previous video, you cannot pour from an empty cup. You can't cater to your students. You can't give them the best version of you if you're burnt out. So before we take care of someone else or someone else's kids, and this is just the truth, you have to take care of yourself. So if we're a teacher that's feeling burnt out, please take a step back and take care of yourself. Find an outlet and find something that you like to do that relieves you of that stress and gives you your relaxation time. So going into the 3 things I wish I knew when I first started. So the first thing I wish I knew when I first started is paperwork overload. And I'm not talking about like just grading papers. I'm talking about the extra paperwork that they don't teach you about when you're in college. Like MTSS paperwork, EIP, IEP, Tier 2, Tier 3, gifted, the list goes on and on. Like, I didn't have a class on how to do that paperwork in school. I just had to learn it along the way. So I feel like I wish I would have knew how to, fill out certain paperwork and handle certain things, because it would have saved me so much time if I knew how to do those things. The second thing that I wish I knew when I first started is all of these different educational acronyms, because I'll be sitting in professional developments and they'll be using these different acronyms, and y'all, I promise you, I'm the one that be looking dumbfounded because I don't know what the heck they're talking about. So I'll just, pull up my phone and try to research what that acronym means. I didn't have a class on it. I don't know if y'all had a class on it, but I feel like that would have been helpful if I knew what certain acronyms were before I started teaching. But then again, like I said, education is constantly changing. So once you learn these set of acronyms, those acronyms will probably be different the next year anyway. So the third thing that I wish I would have knew when I first started is leave work at work. And I talked about this too in my previous YouTube video. And we could kind of tie this in as to why that teacher is feeling burnt out, because you're not leaving that work at work. The work is going to be there tomorrow, the next day, and the next day. It's not going anywhere. It's okay not to complete your work. Okay, it truly is. It's okay not to complete your work. It's okay to put yourself first. So yeah, I wish I would have known that. I know that now. I'm not stuck on stupid anymore. But yes, leave work at work. But yes, that's pretty much it for this video, you guys. I hope you all enjoyed it. So before you all go, don't forget to do 3 things, and that's comment, like, and subscribe to my YouTube channel.